right? And we'll say menu. This project will help you for the project because you are doing project, yes or no? For your project, you're doing bank account, right? So this is a hint for that project. So project, you will need a menu, just like ATM menu. I'm going to show you so you can understand how easy it is. So go to menu and finish. Make sure you do it so you will enjoy it. And you can see that class is empty. Make sure you do so all of you can have a similarity. Now we're going to create a class. So right click, new Java class. Right click, new Java class. Relax and enjoy. Right? First we'll do while and then we'll do menu. So Java class, and here I'll say menu, M capital menu, M capital menu. So menu. Now finish. Good. So what should I write now? First thing we'll write is the main method. Right? If you already have, you can cut and paste, so you can save some time. So I'm going to take it main method. Now and press enter. So here. Now I'm going to teach you do while first. And there are a couple of questions in interview people ask about do while. Please understand, programming become easier if your context is pretty clear. Now, the question they ask about, you are already know for loop, which we talked about last week. Then we talk about while loop, which we talked about last week. We ran out of time and we did not cover do while. So this is where they ask the difference between do while. So please pay attention for a second. For loop only works if the condition is true. While loop only works when the condition is true. But do while by default works at least once, and then you check the conditions. So do while always run once. Makes sense or not? That's a big difference because you are not checking condition first, you're checking condition last. So do while always works and then you check condition. So think about if you are going to McDonald's. Do you need to place order in order to see menu, or you will see menu first and then you place order? Right? If you go to ATM, would you like to see what do you call menu or no? You like to see menu. So do while give you menu first. So anytime you do menu, normally people will use do while. Why? Because user has not entered anything. User has not entered anything. And if your user has not entered anything, I need to first show user and then help them to do the right thing. Sounds good? So let's start how do while works. So first, you define one variable. Let's say I said int I equals to maybe 1. So I start with one variable I equal to 1. Right? And now I'm saying do and curly bracket, press enter. So do and curly bracket, press enter. Do curly bracket, press enter. And then you write while I is less than 5 and semicolon. So what is I less than 5? This is the condition. So initially I value is what? 1. So here this loop will go up to I less than 5. If I become 5, it will stop. So this is my initial value. This is my end value. And here I have to do all my business. So here I'm going to do S out, system out, remove the double quotation and just keep I. And after that, I'll say I plus plus. So this is also I want to cover that. Last week I did not cover that. So there will be a concept in an industry called prefix and suffix. So when I write plus plus means I'm incrementing by 1. So like if I write I equals to I plus 1, so far we were doing this way. This is called increment. But if you're incrementing by 1, it's a good idea to write I plus plus. You can save time. These and these are both same. Make sense or not? Now in interview, people will ask you the difference. plus plus I and I plus plus. So I'm going to cover that in a few minutes. Okay, remind me. But right now, if I see carefully, I will start with 1. It will print 1. Then I will increment 2. 2 is less than 5. It will go here and it will print 2. Then 3. 3 is less than 5. Then it will go up, and then 4. 4 is less than 5, but 5 is not less than 5. So it will stop at 4. So save it and run it. Save it and run it and see if it works. Do while is always running one time. So you will see that even the condition is wrong, it will run or at least run time. So you can see 1, 2, 4. Do you guys agree or not? 1, 2, 3, 4. I got the answer. Now, if I put here I less than 1, just an example, I less than 1, you know that I original value is 1, yes or no? I wrote a condition which is wrong. 1 is not less than 1, yes or no? So if I save it and if I run it, what will happen? Still it will print 1 because you're checking condition a little bit later. So it will come out, but it will still print 1. Make sense? That's a big difference between do while and while, because while check condition first. Here do while check the condition last. Question, concerns, doubts so far. Any questions with this thing? Initial value, increment value. You can also do decrement. So if you want to decrement like I equal to I minus 1. If you want to do minus 1, then you just should this way I dash dash means minus. That is equivalent to this thing. Make sense or no? Now, I want to show you something interesting. Please pay attention. If I say I equal to 5 and J equals to 6, this is a certification question. In case if you are going in person, you may expect this question. This is a pretty easy question. There is no programming. It's all understanding. So if I equal to 5, J equal to 6. Now I'll say, let's assume, I'll say A equals to I. What is the value of A right now? Are we clear? Say yes or no. Crystal clear? Good. There is nothing special, right? Now, if I say, please pay attention. If I say this, now what is the value of A and what is the value of I? So please understand.
A is equal to 6.
So please understand, this is 5. So because you are doing plus later, you're giving A5. Then you're saying plus plus. So I will be now 6. So you're saying later, but you're giving first. So you're giving 5. You're giving 5 to A. So A will be 5. Make sense or no? This is called suffix. Speak with me. Suffix. Again. Suffix. Very simple. Now, if you don't get this level detail, then you will not differentiate. Do you agree? And this question, in my understanding, is a very easy question. But people fail in this type of question. They don't fail in a logic because they know logic, if and for. You do programming, yes or no? But this is where people fail. Why? Because this is later. So you are giving 5 to A and then incrementing. Now, if I change this thing, I'm pretty positive you will be able to help me here. What would be the value of A now? 6. And what would be the value of I? Both will be 6 because you're incrementing to I. So I was 5, you incremented, so 6. So you give it to this guy and this, so both will be 6. Now, if you have any question, you can ask me. Do you think it's complex? And this is the question when I was interviewed. My kids are interviewed fast. And trust me, I teach this thing on 4th grader, this programming concept, because this is profound. You will see more example, more sample in your book and Google when you search this type of plus plus. And people do it without understanding. Now, same apply here. If I do minus minus, tell me what would be the value of I, A and I. 4 and 4. 4 and 4. And if I do this thing, what will be the value? 4 and 5. First will be 5, A will be 5. Then you decrement. So I will be 4. Make sense or no? Say yes. Awesome. Clear? Clear or no? Now a little bit spice on it. If I say A plus 2 like this, sorry, like this. What does it mean? So this means I'm saying A equals to A plus 2. So now tell me, what is the value of A? 5, because you give 5. So now here you do this thing. So this means this. So 5 plus 2. So you got 7. Makes sense or not? In case if you do minus, it will be minus. In case if you do multiplication, multiplication. So you need to, if somebody give you this thing, you try to translate in your mind this thing. Make sense? Then you are very clear. These are the only two things you need to understand, suffix or prefix. And this is called shorthand. Means you are doing plus equal to 2, means A equal to A plus 2.
How did they get that from there?
This one?
Yeah.
I gave you just an example.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering how they came up with the shorthand.
Yeah, this is like, think about when you're working, right? You're adjusting your table, right? When you're adjusting table, it is human nature. Whatever closer to you, you will be faster. So here you are saying, if I read in English, you say A plus 2, like that. So that this will be a little bit faster than here, because here you can see you're doing equals, you don't know what you're doing. Then you are using A, so you're doing 2 times. Then you're using plus, and then you're doing, so if I run this thing, CPU will do this thing faster than this one, because it's not in your table. You are doing a little bit extra. Both will give the same result, but this one is faster. So most people started using this thing because it's shortcut. Again, not all people use it. I don't use this way. I always use this way, right? Because it's more readable, but some people use it. Just want to make sure, because you may be asking the exam. So at this moment, let's go back to do while. I will be now onwards, I'm going to use this prefix because it makes more sense, right? Now, please understand, this do while, if I add here menu, anything I write, it will show on the screen, yes or no? So I have a small program, but before I start a program, I want to show you here, please understand, do while is part of right now in the main, but I want to teach you today, the most important thing is functions and method. Function and method. Now, this itself is a method. So far, we have been using only main method. Do you guys agree or not? So far, using main method. Today, I want to teach you create our own method. I want you to stop everything, just see, because you will understand, then it's easier. Concept is a lot easier. So what is the method, first of all? Why we are learning method? We know main method. Can I not use, if you write program in a main method like this, and you write, the program will be whole program in main method, and program will go to thousands of lines. Any one line of problem, your program won't work, right? And it's pretty hard to maintain the program when it is all in one. Just like house, how divided into multiple rooms, yes or no? Each room has a purpose. Same thing, program should be sliced into small chunk. And the chunk is known as a method or function. So when you write a program, keep a habit that one program or small method should not have more than 70 lines, 70. If your program has more than 70 lines, you have to chop it into multiple program or multiple methods. Make sense? There is called code style and code practice and maturity. So many times when people write program, hundreds of line main method, you are not a good program. You are called beginner. So you need to create a program structure. Make sense or no? Like example, when you go to office, sometimes when you start office, you will get a four walls on it, open, because they allow you to customize it. Yes or no? So if the office floor is open, the cost will be less because there is only 4 walls. But if you say, no, I need this office, this conference room, this three, if you do the structure, the cost will go high. Same thing, a person who write a program in a structure form, you make more money and the program is more manageable. So far, so good. Second thing, if you write program all at once in main, only one person can work at a time. Yes or no? But if you divide the program into small chunk, then 3 people can now work parallelly because they write all their small program individually, and then one person can combine all and use it. So program becomes parallel development. In a real life, you will do parallel development. When you do test cases, your one team member will write test case 1, test case 2, test case 3, and you combine. And when you combine, it's called test suite. Suite in the sense of bunch of test cases. So ideally, you will be writing small program. Don't try to write all in once. So far, so good. Second thing, if you have a problem in this program, you can comment out that program and you can still work on other program. Make sense or no? If you have a problem in this program, you can even remove this program and other program will still work. The program become reusable. You can also give this program to someone else and they can start using it because this program become reusable. Make sense or no? So the reason we learn method and procedure, there are tons of advantage. Name few. First, program become reusable because when you write a method, it's reusable. Second thing, it's easy to understand. Third, easy to document. Fourth, easy to debug. Fifth, many people can work parallel development. So you maximize your team benefits or team's involvement. So far, so good. Any questions so far? Good. Now, writing methods requires some understanding. So let me explain the concept. So we will be doing what we are doing. So we are writing so far a program in class. In class, we are writing main method. So far, we are writing main method. Say yes or no. Yeah. So now please understand, this is where you write main method and this is you write a class. Now please understand, we are going to write now method will be either we can write here or we can write here. Doesn't matter, but we cannot write inside the main. We can write above or we write below, but it has to be inside the class. Make sense or no? Say yes. Yeah. Okay. Right now, I want to teach you method before we take a break, right? Making sure you understand method. When we come back, we'll talk about functions and then we'll talk about a little bit complex program. So first you write method before the main or after the main, but you are inside the class. Clear? Second, when you write it, if you want to write it, there are 3 steps involved. Please understand. Method, the first line of method is called header. First line is header. So here it's a header. The second, the second part is called body. So it's called body. So every method will have 2 things, header and body. Header is the first part and body. Where you write header, you write method name and you write what is you going to pass inside the method. What do you want to pass it? In the body, you write logic. You write if statements, you write loops like that. But if you write this thing, it's not going to run unless you make a call. The main method has to call the method. If you don't call, nothing happens. Make sense? So I can have 50 methods, but if I don't call, nothing will happen. So technically speaking, you need to understand 3-step approach. First, method header, where you need to know the name of the method. Are you passing anything? Then logic, which is the body. So header, body. The third thing you need to understand is who is calling. And good news about it, when you write a method, you can call as many times as you want. So you can call with 1 and comma 2. You can call 10 comma 20. You can call 100 comma. You can call as many times as you want. Who can call? Main or any. You can also have one method can call another method too. Make sense or no? You can call as many times as you want because it's reusable. It is a reusable. Make sense or no? Any questions so far? Can I write method within main? Method can be written above or below in main? Yes or no? Method has 3 things. Header, body, and caller. Without caller, nothing will happen. So if you don't call, method will not do the function. Method will not do the work. Sounds good or not? So far, so good. Clear? So let's create a method here in the same do while program. So you will understand. So please understand, after the main method, normally I write after the main. My always theory is after, because main method should be visible. So I write after main, I press enter and create some space. Say yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in order to write a method, first you need to know the name of the method. So right now, let's say I'm going to do design. So I'll say design. My method name is design. And I'm not passing anything. It means I'm not passing anything. Make sense or no? I'm not passing anything. Then I start curly bracket and press enter. So this method, I'm not passing anything. Do you see this is empty? So this is called empty, means I'm not passing anything. There is nothing to pass. So first of all, now it will cry because by default, computer will say, is this method is going to return anything? Is this method is going to return anything? Return, speak with me.
Return.
So I have two choice. Return, add return, or I add void. Void, void, void. Void means no, I'm not going to return. Unless I clarify that, computer will crack. So right now I'm going to say, you know what? I know I'm not going to return. So it's not going to cry anymore. So means this method is one direction. Only main will call. That's it. I'm not going to return. I'm not going to return anything. Make sense? Sir? So it's going to fire this thing and this will do the logic and we are done. So far, so good. We are not returning. Returning I'll do after break. But so what is my method name?
Design.
Design. Am I passing anything?
No.
So this line is your header. Do I have any logic right now? No, because logic is empty. So let's write some logic here. So we'll say S out and write some design. Couple of design. I'll write S out and some design. Like this design I'm doing, right? So now these two lines is my body. Please pay attention. This two lines is my design, right, Raj? This is my body. And what is this one? Method name. And am I returning anything?
No.
No. And each method will have its curly bracket. Make sense? Now I want to call this method from my do while. I want to call here. Can I call? So if I want to call, I just need to take this portion. If I want to call, I need to take this portion, method name, and what parameter I need to pass. I need to take this thing. So I'm going to write here, please pay attention. I'm going to write design and I'm not passing anything. So this line is called calling. So this is, you can see it has to match exactly like this. So I'm calling it. Computer will right away, as soon as you write this, computer will find it and it will jump to that line and computer will try to execute it, but it is crying right now. Do you know why? If you move your mouse, it will give you a hint. Tell me why it is crying. I already explained this concept. Sorry? Move your mouse and find out why it is crying.
Design is
Perfect. Perfect. And that's what I was saying. Static only like static. To solve this problem, I need to write here static here. And I'm done. The error disappears. Make sense or no? So static only likes static because this is a static. It doesn't like non-static. So I add static. Now, anytime I call, it's going to do this activity. Make sense or no? Now save your program and run and say, ta-da, it works. It just works. It will call many times because the loop is going to keep calling this design. And you can see now, nice, beautiful design. You can see that. Make sense? It called 4 times. It called 4 times because the program become reusable. First time it called, then second time it called, third time it called. It keep calling. The program become, this is nice design. I can use this thing multiple times. Do you guys agree or not? This design, this is the name of my method. This is my logic. This is my logic. The reason I wrote static because I'm calling static. Main is calling and main only like static. Makes sense or no? Can I call design? Hello. Can I call design after do while? Yes or no? Can I call multiple times? Can I call this? Answer is yes. You can call as many times as you want. You can call in a loop. You can call outside of the loop. As long as the name is same, it's going to jump in here. So why don't you save it and run and check it out? So it will run without any problem. So this is the beautiful part about the design. You can see last couple of things I did it because of the design. So design is working fine. Easy. Question, concerns, doubt. Everyone is good so far? Now, at this moment, you can see here my do while program is working smoothly, but let's say I don't want to do while. I want to write something else. So I'm going to comment it out. I don't want to lose this program. So please highlight it. Up to this, I want to highlight and comment out. You see the comment part? So highlight and comment out. Highlight and comment out. So if I comment out now, if I run my program, will I get a design? Will I get design? Yes or no?
No.
Why not? Because I'm not calling it. I'm not. Do you guys agree or not? Calling means this is the calling part, but I commented out. If I uncomment that, will I get design? Yes. So many times people accidentally say, I'm not working, it's there. So this is called writing header, writing body. That's a good thing. But unless you call it without comment, unless you call, nothing will happen. Make sense or not? So now, at this moment, I want to make my design interesting. I want to pass something inside. So please pay attention. I want to do, so I'm going to write another method. Please help me here. I want to write a method where I want to pass something. I want to pass something. So I'll create another method, also static void design one, another method, and I'm going to say string pattern. So this time I'm passing a string. Please understand, this is the new method. Make sure this method is other. You can write as many methods you want, but make sure your curly bracket and curly bracket matching properly. What is the name of the new method? Design one. It is expecting some input pattern. Makes sense or not? Here, there was no input, right? Void means this is not going to return. So now I'll say S out and remove the double quotation, just write pattern. So now this is my body, one line body. Please understand there is no double quotation, just a pattern. So whatever you pass, I'm using it. Whatever you pass, I'm using it. Sounds good. Now header has a name. This one has a name. So computer, wherever you call, it try to match the name. If the method name match, it will execute only that specific method. It's not going to execute this method if name is not matching. So if I want to call this method here, what should I do? Design one, and I pass some kind of design. So let's say I can pass design like this, some kind of design I pass in double quotations and like that. Now if I save it and run, spelling maybe. And now I save it and run and it will work without any problem. And you can see now it's working and nicely it's coming. Let me know if you have any questions. So design one, it's calling this design and it's passing this pattern here. And I'm using this pattern. Good so far? Say yes.
Yes. So the variable name pattern, you don't have to define the variable in the main.
Here, this is the variable and this is the value I'm passing. So whatever I pass, it will get it here. So far so good? Say yes.
Yeah.
People on phone? So far so good? Right? Any problem? Yeah. Awesome. Now let's do some meaningful thing, right? So let's say I want to do addition. I want to do addition. So let's get started. So static void add. Static void add. What is the add here? Method name. Can I write addition? Yes. you write anything you write, but whatever you write, make sure you use appropriate when you do calling. So add int x, int y, and then curly bracket, press enter. So here, new method. What method name is add input x, input y. Make sense or no? Now method header is add. You're passing x and y. Do you guys agree? Now I want to use it, so I'm going to define here another variable, int z equals to x plus y, and I'm going to print s out, answer equals to plus g. You guys agree? So this is my nice method where I'm passing two input. Let's say I pass 2 here, and let's say I pass 4 here. So whatever I pass, 2 plus 4 will be 6, and answer will be 6. If I pass 20 and 40, it will be 20 plus 40, and it will be 60. If I pass 200 and 400, so whatever I pass, it will automatically come to this variable. And then I'm using this variable to process it, and then I display it. Make sense? Method name is add. How many parameters I'm passing? 2. And I'm doing addition, and I'm printing. I'm hoping you are clear. Now, if I go to my main method, can I do like this way? Add 2, 4. And again, I call add 30, 50. And then as a design one again. And I can part any design of my choice. Will it work? Yeah. Can I call this way and different ways I can pass? Answer is yes. And that's the beautiful part about, that is the beautiful part about our programming, because you can call as many times as you want with different thing. First time when you call add method, it will come here, and then 2, first position will go to x, and the second position will go to y, and it will do 6. The second time it called 30 will come here, 50 will come here. So basically it works. It just works. It just works. Check it out, right? And this is the easy part. Once you understand, you will see the design also works. Everything works. Question, concerns, doubt. Can I pass more parameter? Answer yes. Here I pass 2 parameter. I can pass 2. Can I pass only 1 parameter? No. Because if you have a header, this is your header, name, and you have to use appropriately. So if you have 3 parameters, how many you need to pass? 3. Do you agree or not? If you have 1 parameter, you have to pass 1. Clear? Any problem? Questions, concerns? People on phone, so far so good?
I did have one question. You mentioned about the code not exceeding so many lines.
Yeah.
If you keep creating methods like this, does that still fall within that too many lines, or is that?
No, this is called good. In this method, you should not have more than 70 lines. But this is good. This is good because this is called modularized program. Program is modularized, simpler. It's easy. If there is a problem, see, I'm not using this method. It's there, but not using. If somebody wants to use, they can use. So having a smaller method is good, but having more than 70 lines, it's considerable. It's a bulky method. So testing would be harder, documentation will be harder, and explanation will be harder as well.
So if this whole class was 200 lines of all methods, that would be.
Okay, so if you have a class with bunch of methods, like example, you have approximately 10 to 15 methods, you should have 10 to 15, but let's say if you have 200 methods, in that case, you have to take this sum of the method and create a new class and create utility class. And you can create utility class, and each class you can have 10 to 15 methods like that. That's the way you manage. Otherwise, it's pretty bulky. You should not have one class with hundreds of methods. You divide that thing in a smaller chunk. I write programs, but what I do is I write program with manageable forms, so it's easier to document and reuse it. If I want to do multiplications, I'm going to copy it if you guys are okay. Can I do that? Yeah. I highlight and what are you going to do? Control C and Control V. Can I keep the same method here? This is the interview questions. So now listen carefully. One concept, there is no coding, just a concept. Anytime, if you want to use same name is same, you have to change parameter. So if I use two parameters, then it won't work. But if I do here 3 parameter, please understand. Let's say I do A, then it will work. The only problem is name is same, but parameters are different. Here, how many? 2. And how many here? 3. So when you call, it knows which to call. But if I call now here, add 1, 2, and 3, then it is going to go through the next method. Yes or no? And here I need to use my variable appropriately. So this is very important for you to understand. Name can be same if parameters are different. This concept is called overloading. Speak with me, overloading. So they may ask in interview, this is a very popular question in interview, can we use the same name? Answer is yes. And the reason we can use the same name because method name is more meaningful. Sometimes we start like let's example 2015 I write a program and that time I use program name, method name called process. But in 2023 I think I need a variation in the process. So I can still use the name process, but I may have different inputs. And that's completely fine. The old method is used by old clients. New method will be used by new client. And the reason we use overload because the name has a meaning. Makes sense or no? Otherwise, I would say add 1 and problem solved. Yes or no? I can change the name. If I want to keep the 2 parameter, please understand, if I want to just keep 2 parameter, then I have 2 choice. Second choice, I have to change the name and it will be fine. I can use add 1 and that's completely fine. But if I want to use the same name, make sure parameters are different. Clear? Say yes or no. Yeah. Any questions so far? So if I want to do multiplications, let's do it. Instead of add, I'm going to say multiplication. See, name is different. It's not going to cry. Yes or no? It's not going to cry. And you can see this. So if I just copy this entire thing and I just change the name, and here I change the operator, now it's multiplication. Make sense? So anytime you can write the program with the simple modification, either you can change the name or you can change the parameter and your method will work. Your method will work. Easy. So far, so good. Now, if I want to call this thing, instead of this add, I'm calling, let's say mul, and it will work. So now mul will expect 330 and 50, so it's going to give me 1500. So if I run the program, it's going to call according to the name, and it will give me answers. And you can see here, I got 1500. This 1500 came because I got multiplication 30 and 50. The first item automatically go to the first variable. The second item go automatic to the second variable. This is called position assignment. First will go to first and second will go to second based on the position, right? Yeah, we use, right? We use string variable, right? Here, pattern. Yes or no? Yeah. So we have a lot to cover. So what will be have fun? Okay. Okay. So now we're gonna start a brand new project and we'll do this time. I'll do explain function also. So let's create a new project. File new project. This time we'll do Maven. We'll say function. So we'll say my function. My functions. My functions. I'm gonna give 3. Oh, 3 is also there. Can you believe that? 5. So my function 5. So we'll do. Now, the difference between what do you call method and function, that's only one difference. When you say method normally use void, and function always use return. That's the only difference. Now, whatever you can do, please understand, whatever you can do in method, you can do that thing in a function. So functions and method are same. The only thing is one returns and one does not return. So let's take an example. So when you do Google search, do you get anything back or no? Yes or no? So that's called search function. Do you guys agree or not? So search function means when you search something, you get anything back. Example, if I want to say credit score, I want to check my credit score. I enter my social security number. Will I expect the score or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
So that's called credit score function. So function means I get something back. Makes sense or no? But let's say if I go to post office and I drop my post, will I get anything? Just do it. When I send email, will I get anything? Because it's a so procedure, you assume it will taken care. But in function, all work is done and at last you get the result. So some cases you want result to come to you. If that's the case, then you need a return. So function required return. So function does the task and get you the result. Make sense or no? Function does the task and get you the result, while procedure just complete it, but it does not give you anything. So procedure or method always use void and function always use return. Make sense? I'm going to create in this program method first, and I'll convert into functions. So you will see that there is no difference between method and function as such. It's just an intention, how you want to do it. Now, can I always use procedure? The choice is yours. Can I always use function? Choice is yours. But there are cases where you think function will be appropriate. So example, if I do product search, Amazon gives me product list, yes or no? So that's the function. If I do something and I see result coming to me, that's a function. Make sense or no? Clear? So let's get started. Please, everyone type it. I know sometimes typing is a little bit harder and you may have an error, but trust me, the more you type, easier it will become, because programming cannot be learned by just watching or listening. You have to do some action, okay? A little bit, so that way you can have a confidence. Let's go to finish. Now, I do not have any class in my package. So this is the package, right? I'm going to right click, and I'm going to create a class. So right click, new Java class. Right click, new Java class. Right click, new Java class. Right? So here, new Java class, I'll say function, F capital function. You can give any name. I'm just giving meaningful names. So later on, when you refer, you will understand. Java class always start with first letter capital. Good. And finish. Now you can see that class is empty. There is no main method, and always you have package. And this is the curly bracket for class. Now we're going to write here a main method. So again, main method is all lowercase except string. So public static void main in parentheses string capital args like that, argument string like that, and press enter. After curly bracket, you always press enter. So when you press enter, you will have a closing curly bracket. If you are here, then we can get started. I'll give a minute so you can type it. Please understand, more you type, easier it will become. Because I also type this thing many, many times, and then you can see I'm also typing it. The reason I type, I never forget when you type more, right? We talk about static method is always class. So this method is class level, and void means this is method. Do you guys agree or not? Right? And make sure the spelling mistakes can be quickly avoided if you see the line by line. Okay. The string S is capital, right? Now, this method which I have, I want to write a function. So always I write functions after the main method. You cannot write function within a main method. So make sure you understand this is your block, right? and I'm going to write. Can I write above? Yes, but my habit is always write after main method. So first I'm going to write a method, which is very simple. You are very knowledgeable for that. So like example, if you think about, I want to calculate hourly salary. Hourly salary. Now we did our first project with hours and rate. Yes or no? Yes. So if I want to calculate someone's salary, Mr. Bob's salary. So Bob, if I want to calculate, then I need to know what hours he worked, how many hours he worked, and what's his rate. And if you give me rate and hours, right, I can multiply that and get the salary. Do you guys agree or not? Now it's pretty simple. So I'm going to create a method called find salary. Now, when you write a method, you always use a camel case. Speak with me. Camel case means start with lower, and if next word, capital. Camel case. So find F will be lower and salary, S will be capital. Find salary. So first I'm going to do method, and then I'll convert into function, so you will understand right away. Okay. So first thing, after curly bracket, I'm going to say here static void find S capital salary, and in parenthesis, int hour, int rate. I'm using int only, curly bracket start, press enter. So you can see nicely, this is my name of the method. This is my input, hour and rate. Can I use float here? Yes, you can. You can always use that, and I'll show you how this will work so you can enjoy that. This is void, means this is the method. The curly bracket start, curly bracket ends. Could you, in case it's need help? Good, so far so good. Whole day we'll have rain or what?
It's not end of March. It's known.
It's kind of different, right? Compared to last week. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so no problem. Now let's see here. What formula I write so I can calculate the salary? I need to write a variable here, right? Yeah. So if I write a variable here, so first thing I'm going to write a variable int salary equals to hour times rate. And then I'll print it as out salary equals to, and I say salary. So I can see right away, this is beautiful method, practical method. You can literally see here, everything you can understand this method. This is the class curly bracket. Now, if I use float here, just an example, if I have used float here, then I would have to use float here as well, right? Makes sense or not? Yeah. So because if you use one of this float, multiplication will be float also, then I have to use float. So be careful when you use data type. Sometimes I use double, then I need to use double. Again, those common sense you have to apply, because if you have one, let's example, hour is 15 hour, just an example, but your hourly rate is let's say $18.25. So if you do 25 cents and this is float, then you have to use float here. If not, you have to do casting. Remember we talk about casting, and that casting means you will have less money. Do you guys agree or not? And this is called rounding error. Speak with me. Or sometimes we call value error. Value error means I didn't get the correct value because you are 18.25, but if you do integer only, you remove the 25 cents, means you will lose those money. Or penny matters. Do you guys agree on that? Penny matters. Right? Have you seen movie called Office Space? In there, they wanted to not borrow, I would say, easy language, steal. They want to steal the penny from the every transaction. So when somebody transact, right, they want to steal the penny, but instead of penny, they were trying to steal a whole this thing after decimal. So they thought next day, these are bank, they were bank, programmer. So they thought next day they might have maybe $10 or $100 in their bank account. And when they go and check, it was 1 million, instantly millionaire. And the reason because of the rounding error, instead of taking penny, they started taking entire the decimal value. So because in America, everything is $7.99, right? It means $1 per transaction. $1 is a lot of money. Okay, so here I have method name and I have input. And everything is there and it's a void. It means it's a method. Now I want to call here. So how do I call? Find salary, same name, make sure case sensitive, and I'll pass hour, let's say 10, and rate is, let's say 18. Mr. Biden gave a little bit higher rate. So here you go. Now run it. And when you run it, you can get that. And you can get 180. No problem. I got salary 180. And the reason we got, because 10 went here, 18 went here, 10 times 18 will be 180, and that's what we got. So you can see whatever you write in double quotation is printing as is, and then 180 you got it. Let me know if you got the answer. So give me thumbs up, so at least I know everyone is getting that, right? Now I just want to give you opportunity for a few seconds that if I do the float, I will change a little bit here and there just to make sure it's not the end of the world, because you will get a float, you will get a double, but you just need to use your imagination. So remember, this decide what you can get it, right? So this decides integer. But let's say I want to give $18.25. You work very hard, you deserve some promotion. So we give you 25 cents extra. So now check it out. By the way, 25 cents is a lot of money. A lot of money, by the way, because you multiply by hour, right? So it's going to make money. By the way, little side note. In America, normally if you're very good, you get 3% raise, right? So if your salary is 100,000, you will get raised 3,000. Yes or no? Say yes. And Mr. Uncle Sam take almost 20% of tax of that. So that will be 600 gone. So you are now having 2,400, right? And in 2,400, you have to divide by 26 paycheck. Everyone understand? So if you do mathematic model, you are going to make less than $80, right? So this is you get $80. If you really work hard. So what I'm trying to say there. Don't work smart. Work smart. Don't work for $80. Work smart. So I always said there are two types of career you have. Listen carefully. One is a vertical career, which is $80. And one is called horizontal career. Means you make your own career. Have some kind of additional way, because if you just work hard vertical, you will make $80 a month. But if you do horizontal career, you make $8,000 additional a month. Now that horizontal career requires a little bit thinking process, and that you have to develop. Not all people have it. Let me repeat. Only 0.02% people do horizontal career. Horizontal career means you have a job, you have a business, you have a rental property, you have a stock, you have this, you have to have. Many people don't get that, and when they retired, then they realize that they really did a vertical career, which is too late. Many of you are very young. You have a long run to go. Always have two careers. One is professional career and one is personal career. And the personal part is a horizontal career. Maybe your family member, maybe your wife, maybe your spouse, maybe your friend, maybe your family member. Give your 2-3 hours with them. And trust me, that will guarantee to make more than $80. I give you guarantee. Okay. This is the finance, my favorite subject. But anyway, so right now we are good to go. But here, let's say I want to do $18.25. As soon as I do, it's going to cry. Why is going to cry? Because you say, hey, you are giving this. So can you write float here? So I write float. So when I write float, it's saying, hey, there is no matching. There is no matching. There is no matching here. This guy is expecting integer and you are expecting float. It's not going to work. So we have two choices. You can apply casting here. Sounds good or not? So if you do casting here, check it out, then error will disappear. Tenzing, you saw that? Because here you are a float, this guy is end, you have casting. So I apply. Now see what happened. You run your program. So 18.25 will become 18 and see you got 180. Is the right or value loss happen? So do you agree? Whenever you do casting, it is possible you will have a value loss. Now people say, oh, program works. Do you think it's working correctly? No, this is the logical error. So correct solution is not this. Correct solution is change this one, right? But if you change here, then you will have a problem here. Then you have to change this one also. Make sense or not? So if you enter float here, now it is accepting float. Now the calculations also happen float. Make sense or not? So if you know when you are passing float, you need to receive float and you have to use calculation in float. Now if you run it, you will be now happy customer because value loss will not happen.
What would happen if you don't put the F behind?
It won't allow. Java will think as a double. Java will think as a double, so it won't allow. So if you don't add F, Java by default thing is a double, it will gonna cry, right? So if you want to remove this thing, then you have to do double, which is unnecessary. But you can see that $2.50 you earn because you did right programming. Make sense or no? Questions? How float works? Clear?
Doesn't hour also need to be a float as well?
You can, if you think, yeah, person can work like, 5 hours, 25 cents. Yeah, you can. Yeah, choice is yours. You can customize it. But you do agree that this is void? Say yes or no. So this is the method. Methods are always void. Now, any questions you have, I'm going to convert this method to functions. Okay. In order for me to do that, I'm going to copy this thing entire and I'm going to change a little bit name so you can understand. So this is my one. So I'm going to convert these method to functions. So you can see apple to apple comparison because once you understand, it's easy. So what I did, I copied this thing, Control C, right? Control C, and then I did Control V. So when I paste it, it's there. Everyone is good so far? Okay. Now please understand. First thing, function. Please, I need 2 more minutes. 2 minutes.
That's what I found.
What did you find? It's okay to turn off. We have Siri on, huh? Man, been recorded or what? Okay. So when we are here, we start with void. In function, we cannot use void. So function is kind of playing a ball game. So if you're kids or when you were a kid, right, you might have played this game. Normally I've seen when I was in Michigan, I had a neighbor, the dad and son, they were playing this baseball type of thing. They throw ball and dad has like gloves and they both had one gloves in one hand and then throw the ball. So when somebody throw the ball, the person receive is a ball. Yes or no? So if I throw baseball ball, the person receive baseball ball. Yes or no? If I throw basketball, person will receive basketball. If I throw tennis ball, person receive tennis ball. Do you guys agree or not? Say yes or no. Yeah. Same concept in a function. If you are writing a function, so this is the functions, and this is the main method, a caller. Functions or caller. So here, the calling part, please understand, here, this is the calling part. So when I call, I'm passing this data. Yes or no? And whatever I complete, I need to give you back. And what is the answer I'm giving back here is salary. Say yes or no. So if I'm throwing basketball, person will receive basketball. Yes or no? So if I'm sending back salary, if salary is a float, then instead of void, I need to write float here. Why? Because salary is float. But if salary is integer, then instead of void, what should I write? Okay. If salary is, let's say, string, then instead of this, I will write string. So first thing I need to understand, listen carefully, please, what this function does. So this function does salary. So then question is, what is the salary? So salary type is float. Yes or no? So rather than you type here, you just remove this line and say return salary. The first thing you have to have return. You got to have return. And the reason you need a return because function always return. Now the final answer is salary. Now the question is what kind of salary it is, integer or float. So answer is float. So now remove the void and write float and you're solved with it. The error will disappear. So here you're going to say float. And now this is now your function. Did I change anything? Only few things I changed. First, I added this line. That's the change number 1. And I defined type, change number 2. And method become a functions. Method become a function. Method become a function. Pretty good? Say yes.
Yes.
If you just focus this aspect, then anytime you want to change, like example, if I want to change this thing to a method, then you have to remove return and you have to remove this thing and make void. Then it will be method. So you can see here you're not returning, you're printing here. So you're printing here, and second, you're doing void. So that's 2 change. If you do, then you can change method to function or function to method. Sometimes you may need to do that. So be careful. Remember one thing, function always return. Clear? So if somebody says function, can I use void? No. And if I don't have return, do you think it will work? No. Because if you say return here, then it will ask what you are returning. Salary. Is the salary is same? So example, if I do int here, it will work. Why it will not work? Because you are returning, you're throwing basketball and you're expecting here tennis ball. It's not going to work. Make sense? This is your return. So you find out what is salary is float. Then you have to have float. And this common sense you have to develop, because if you do that, majority functions and procedures kind of problem will be gone. So first, writing is not a problem. Clear? We made 2 changes. We had a return line and will float. Now, when we were calling, please understand, when we were calling procedure, we did not have any problem. But when we call function is doing the work and it is returning to the caller. So you have to do this way now. Check it out. You have to define here for functions. I'll write a comment calling functions. So you are here, you're going to write here float, and you can write anything you want. So you can say pay equal to find salary 1, and you can say 10, and let's say 18, 25 float. So now what you are doing here, you're saying call this function, pass this value, do the math, get the salary, and then return this salary to here. Whatever answer you get, your answer will come here. So your answer will come here. So once your answer come here, assign that answer to pay. So this variable can be anything. You can write salary here, you can write A here, you can write B here, you can write C here, whatever you want, you can write here. This variable has no meaning to this variable because these variables are local. These are different. So can I use salary here? Yes, no problem. This is just different because this variable is only available here only. Make sense? Questions? So right now, where is the final answer? This function will calculate it and give it the final answer to the pay variable. So if I need to print it, now I'll say s out pay equals to Adam plus P and save it. Now run it and you can get the answer. And you can see now I got the pay. Both are exactly the same. Logic is exactly the same. There is no difference between these two, but you got the answer pay clearly. Why it happened like this? What happening right now? So this is your function calling. You're passing values. Function does the mathematical logic and it returns to here. So wherever your functions, these will be converted as answer. And this answer is given to variable pay, and then you're using pay. Let me know if you got the answer. Everyone got the answer? Got it. So this is one way to call function. So this is your calling function. This is one way. And some people are very smart. They want to remove this line. They don't want this way. So they do another way to do. So there is another way to get that. So you can say system out, pay equals to, and then immediately call this whole function here itself. So you can call this function itself here like that, like this. So in that case, you're getting the answer, but you're not assigning answer to the variable. You are actually printing the answer here itself. So you are just printing. So there are two ways you can call function. One, get the value assigned to variable and print the variable, or second, call the functions and print it. So there are two ways you can do the magic. So far, so good. Now you save it and now print it, and both will give you the same answer. When you need it, it's up to your choice, but overall you can do it. And you can see now we get that. Got it? Both are getting the answer. One is just printing it. One is calling it, getting the answer in a variable, and then you're printing. Any questions so far? Question, concerns, doubt? People on phone, any questions so far? Good so far, so good.
Mine would be more about the formatting of the float.
Sorry, how to do format?
Formatting the float so you're getting actually two instead of just one position.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll show you that part. Okay, so at this moment, I hope you are understanding the low bit functions and all. We'll do more exercise. We are not done yet. I want to make sure array I will do later because I don't want to cut the corner. I want to make sure array I'll do later. Yes.
I have questions. When we should use a float or double?
We talk, right? Double means big number. Double means like, if you have decimal value and you have bigger number after decimal and before number like that, then you will double. Float normally use decimal and two decimal like that and like that. This is float. So if you're asking guess price, you should use float. But if you're asking Microsoft yearly income, then double, right? Like example, uranium. If you're talking about uranium, right, and you want uranium activity, then normally people will use double because even 0.00001 uranium is very lethal. So it depends on what type of detail you want precision to. Like after decimal, a lot more, then double is better. Good. Okay, so right now, I hope you are understanding. Good news, many examples I have added in my forum. So let me just jump into the forum. So this is our forum. I'm keep adding the forum, so I'm hoping that you will enjoy the forum. But what happened is you are right now on a week number 4. So last week, all the details are here. I can kind of modifying that. So this is what last week thing, and many of you did awesome jobs. Now this week we started do while. We could not do array yet, and I'm checking time. If it is available, I'll do it. Otherwise, we'll do next week. Static instance, right? File, new project. This program we're gonna write less. We're gonna copy paste, so it will be very easy. So file, new project, Maven, and next, let's say fast food. So project name is fast food. Project name is fast food. And finish. Now you can see that I do not have a class, so I'm going to create a class. So right click here and create a class, new Java class, and F capital fast food, and finish. Make sense? Let me know if you are here. If you have a problem, please ask neighbor. Please make sure you jump it so we can do more work. Okay. See, learning sometimes go a little bit slower and faster. So that's why I'm recording. If you are having trouble, make sure you watch recording because this will give you opportunity to practice. And all codes, some of most code I have added in a forum also. Yeah, fast food, you can see here, I have this thing. Now, at this moment, my class name is fast food. I have nothing here. And what I'm going to do, first I'll explain and then we'll do it. So if you pay attention, there is nothing, don't write anything. I'll copy paste, but I want you to understand it. I need 5 minutes. First I'll explain. Please pay attention. We're not typing right now. Understand. Then we are typing. Because it is proven that after understanding, you can type fast. Without understanding, you type slow, right? So let's understand. So I'll go to forum. So in this forum, please pay attention. I have created a method called menu. Now, when you see this thing, you will not cry because it's a static. It's a void. Do you guys agree? And you can see that method name is menu, curly bracket start, curly bracket ends. Do you guys agree? Everything is system out, means I'm printing one for fries and it's a $2. 2 drinks, $1. 3 for burger, $4. And 4 for chips, $2. And 5. This is different menu than real life. So don't ask question why it is so expensive burger, because it's a special burger, right? And fries are big, like assume this is like a large size fry, but don't ask me. We created that, right? So this is the menu. Do you agree? Now, if I ask you to copy from here to here, would you be able to copy? Control C. So please copy, Control C. This is available in our forum. So you can access the from, right? Java programming, just do Control C and go back to your program and go back to a program and inside the class curly bracket, paste it here. So your menu. You can see nicely this menu is properly done and I create a menu. So when you do project, you will say 1 for add account, 2 for view account, 3 for delete account, 4 for update account, and 5 for quit. Make sense or no? So you can create nice menu for your project like this. Make sense? Copy paste. Good. Let me know if you need help here. Good. Right? Only copy this thing, okay? Don't copy your entire thing. I'm going to cover, explain. Make sure you copy this because I want to explain before we do this. Good. We are not typing. We are just copy pasting. So far, so good. Huh? I can put it class. What you want to? You don't have a forum access? Let me first give you a link for forum access. That way, because my biggest problem is if you are not able to access forum, you are not able to do homework also. Okay, so first I added the forum link and then you copy this thing and paste it here in a chat. Why it is so difficult, guys? The easiest thing in the world is copy paste. Give me thumbs up, at least you are done or no. Like this is simple. Copy and paste, right? What else you need, right? I didn't even ask you to type. This look like hours pass, huh? Come on, guys. Control C, Control V is a miracle in a life. Whoever is invented, awesome. Control C, Control V. Okay, so at this moment, guys, if you are having a trouble, I would say stop and watch only because you do not know the copy paste, then we cannot go forward, right? So I want you to take time, do Control C, Control V later when you have free time because we cannot spend time for this much activity for Control C, Control V. I was expecting less than a minute. We took like 5 minutes. Okay, so right now, those who are having trouble in Control C, Control V, you can watch later, okay? Because you need more practice, more watch. This is I created a menu. Now I'm going back again. Now I want you to stop and watch. Hello, 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 stop. Stop everything and watch. Everyone, stop and watch. Otherwise, you will not understand. You will become like a typewriter without understanding. We want to be programmer, okay? And programmer understand. And the person who typewriter, they don't understand, just type. Remember, if your brain doesn't get it, this is useless. We are not working on your head. We are working on your head. Stop it and try to understand. So you understand, then every words will make sense to you. So what we are doing here, Ella, it's okay to remember you're working for your career, not text. Come on in, come on in. So first I want to show you menu, user. So user will say 1 for this, 2 for this, 3 for this, like that. Now each item has a price associated. So I want to create a program where I can do while. So I can say user can see the menu. User will say, and our program will say, hey, enter your choice. So user say, I want 1. So when user say 1, I'll take a 1. And whatever item you've chosen for that, I'll add the price because I know each item, the price. So I add the item into total. So now user say, I want, because this is do while. So user say, what next? So I say, I need 2. So the previous item which you bought, that item and it will do accumulation. Then say, what's next? Let's say you say, I need this item. And when you said, that's it, the do while loop will stop. So you bought 3 items, 1, 2, and 3. So your total bill will be 1 item plus 2 item plus 3 item. And then you will show user a bill. And that's what we are trying to do. This required a little bit understanding. So let me explain here. First, we are writing a main method. So you're not going to type, we're going to copy paste. We are defining 2 variables. One is choice, where menu is there, right? When you go to Taco Bell, you will have options, which one you want, right? Yes or no? So you are going to say, hey, I want number 1 or number 2. Anytime you say number 1, we're going to pass to switch and say, for number 1, what is the price? Add that in a total. So that's why we are using total, global total. Why? Because user will have option to select multiple item. When you go to McDonald's, you can say, I need this, I need this, I need this. So you are asking 3 things. So every time you ask, you're adding to total. Makes sense or no? So if you want more item, total will accumulate. If you just 1 item, total will come out with 1 item. So total start with 0 and user has a many choice. When user said that's it, it's called quit the loop. So we'll quit the loop when user said that's it, right? Like example, McDonald's say, what else you need? I need a fries. What else you need? I need a burger. What else you need? I need this and anything else. That's it. So when that's it means user say, come out from the menu. I need my bill. So here, check it out. First, whenever user enters, we are going to do scanner. Make sense or no? So when user enter, we're going to do scanner. So scanner is SC here. And now we are saying do. As soon as I do, it will show the menu. So menu, when user see the menu, there is options in the menu, enter your choice. So user is entering choice, we select the choice. Make sense or no? And once we select the choice, then we'll say, if choice is 1, then user has to pay $2. But user is not done yet. So we put total and we'll come out. And we are saying, what's next? You just say, I want 2. So you already have total in $2. So next time if you say, I need this 2 plus 1, 3. So total is 3. The user said, that's it. Then it is a 5. 5 means that's it, means quit. So user will come out when you're 5. And when you come out, we are paying total bill is $5. So let's understand again. First, why am I using 2 variable? First variable is for choice. Why? Because anytime you show the menu, you're asking user enter your choice. When user enter choice, we are reading through scanner. Yes or no? So how we are reading the scanner? We are reading here. We are reading here. So we are reading scanner, and every time we are showing menu, we are asking user what's the choice. Make sense? So right now, let's not do it. See what I do. I highlight it. I highlight and copy up to main. Please see here. Don't do it. Just see here for 2 minutes. So please understand. I highlight from here to here, main to this curly bracket. Please don't do it. See it. I'll give you time. And now I'm going to paste it here. So I pasted the program. It's going to cry. I'm going to click here and import it. So error will disappear. Now I want you to see what I program was. It start do and it while. When it say 5, when user enter 5 means that's it. It will exit the loop. But if user enter 1, 2, 3, 4 means user is making choice. Why is user is doing 1, 2, 3, 4? Because on the menu we are only giving them 4 options. Make sense or no? And 5 options we are saying it's a quit. So if you go to the elevator, there is a 20 floors. How many choice you gonna give?
20.
That's called common sense. Yes or no? When you go to ATM, in ATM you don't give fries. You say add for 1 for deposit, 2 for withdraw, 3 for transfer, 4 for check status, and 5 for print receipt. You have to change the menu. So if you want to change the item in a menu, you change here. Yes or no? But if your items are 6 and 7th is the quit, what are you going to do change here? You're going to make here 7. Make sense or no? Why? Because that is the item you are expecting quit. Here you have 7 and you say 5 quit, it's not going to work. Make sense? So menu will display. When menu will display, you're asking user to enter choice. Yes or no? So as soon as menu display, because you're calling, user will enter. When user enter, let's say if I enter 5 straight, choice will be 5. It's not 1, it's not 2, it's not 3, it's 4, and it's 5. Boom. Program will stop. So in that case, total will be 0. Why 0? Because you started with 0. Now let's say user run again. Now user say 1. Choice is 1. So total was 0. 0 plus 2, which is 2. So 0 plus 2, which is 2. So total 2. Now user enter 5. So what will be the bill? 2, right? So let me show you. Now I copied this whole thing. Now I save it first and now run it. When I run, my cursor will be in the console. This is the console. My cursor will be in console. I need to click here. I need to click here. So if I click here, cursor will be blinking. See, it's blinking. Yes or no? Why this is coming? Because I call menu. So this line under do, this menu is showing. Now, if I enter something, that value will go to choice. Yes or no? So now if I say 1, as soon as I press 1 and enter, choice is 1, it will go to total. Total is 0. 0 plus 2, 2, right? So now again, you could do while say you enter, so far you enter only 1 and 1 is not 5. But now I'm entering 5. So first user selected 1, so $2. Now user say 5, so it will go to choice 5 and it will give a total bill $2. Make sense? Now run again. So if I run again and I'm clicking on the console, so I'm clicking on a console. This time I'm hungry, so I'm going to add more options. So now it say, hey, I want fry. So how much dollar? $2. So it will add, when I say 1, 2, 0 plus 2, which is $2. Then menu will say, okay, what's next? So hey, I needed number 2. So already you're $2 in total and 1, which is 3. So if I said 2, now total bill is 3. Now I say that's it. So if I do 5, as soon as I say 5, it will stop the loop and then it will print total bill is $3. Pretty good. Why don't you now copy paste and try it out? Give me thumbs up if you're able to run it. See, I'm recording the sessions. I'll give you this recording after the class, but make sure you try it. See if you can do it. Ask your neighbor, take advantage of your neighbor. Next time they will not be available, right? Because they will be sitting somewhere else. You are asking too many questions, right? So it's important that today you take advantage of your neighbor. Good. Awesome. So, going through any problem? To ask, okay? Don't be scared, don't be shy. Remember, you are here to learn. You are very not asking when you will not learn. What's the issue? Remember, asking a question is the best way to learn. Remember, nothing wrong. Remember, almost everyone can learn by asking questions. Everyone is doing good? Help your neighbor, and those who are able to do, give thumbs up. This will be very helpful for your project because in your project, we are doing bank. So you will have 1 for add customer, 2 for add transaction, 3 for this, 4 for this, 5 for this. Yes. Hello, Aluya.
Yes, hi. My question is, how do you declare constant?
Constant, you just use a final here. If you use final, then it's a constant. You cannot change it. So here I'm trying to change here, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna cry because if I do final, I cannot change it.
Okay.
So that's what it is.
Thank you.
Good, working? Arthur? Yes, Purva?
So I just in while we are using exclamation sign.
Means not equal to. That's called not equal to. Means if it is like not equal to, means if it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no problem. Till this value is not equal to 5, it will repeat.
Okay.
But if it is 5, it will come out.
Mhm.
So this is called not, and this is called not equal to.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Good.
Sure. There's a way to write this for loop, I guess, if in just one line. There's like a tertiary.
Ternary if statement. You are talking about if statement, not for loop.
Oh, yes.
If statement. A ternary. I'll cover that.
I have a question, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, please. I think due to my laptop screen or something, I didn't see how you added the second choice to go to the total.
Sorry, could you repeat again the question?
I did not see how you entered the second choice, the first choice with the second choice and total bill. I didn't see how you, I didn't see how you,
I can run it. I can run and show you. It's just in console. So this is the console. This is the console, right? You will see menu first. You will see menu, right? You first enter 1 and press enter. You click here first. You enter 1 and press enter.
okay.
Then you enter 2 and press enter. And once you want to come out, you press enter 5 and press enter like that. So you can see now 3. So every time I enter, it calculates the value. So the program, let me just show you the program. This main program, you have to copy main program and then menu program. Menu program is after main, right? So menu we copied first and the main program we copy later. And we had an error. The scanner has an error, which we click here and we imported, right? So make sure the main method is only one and you're calling in main method is the one who is calling menu. So menu is called from there. So that's why first we started menu method. We copy menu and then we copy main method, right? And everything happens in a console because when you're using scanner, it is in console. So you have to click on the console. After 1, press enter. Select any value you want. Maybe 3, maybe 2. But when you enter 5, it will stop.
Okay, now I understand. Thank you.
Good. See, you guys are all welcome to come a little bit early for the class and ask questions. You guys can stay a little bit later and ask questions, but make sure you have like bonding with your team member, because the project is going to come soon, right? Very soon project will come. So you and your team member, remember last week we discussed about you and your team member start having our socializations, what, when, how, why, and keep asking. You can also use WhatsApp group. In WhatsApp group, also participate, ask questions. Remember, this is very important. Even today, I personally, when I have a problem, I do ask my team member. No one is perfect, right? If any new program I start, and if I stuck somewhere, I ask questions. Sometimes I do Googling, sometimes I post my question to the message board. You have to use all tools. So human nature, initially we are afraid to ask question, but we are here student. We all are student, okay? We need to ask questions. When you ask question, I'll explain more. But if you don't ask question, I'll go with my normal routine, right? I thought you know it, right? It's very important you understand word by word. Like example, what is scanner? What is this? That's what I'm trying to explain here. Do while, it means repeat this thing. Repeat things until you are 5. 1, no problem, repeat 2. And when you repeat, show the menu. And then ask user choice. When user enter choice, take the value in a total. This way I accumulate the value when users are selecting. And when user enter 5, I'm printing the value. The menu I created here, and there are different value, option has different price. And you have to understand the Lego block. And in homework, I'm going to give you similar thing multiple times. So homework is a muscle building exercise. If I'm really care for my career, homework is extremely important, trust me. Because today, so new project, brand new project, make sure you type correctly and type a little bit faster along with me. So Maven, and we'll say my grade, sorry, my mistake, lower my grade 1, I'll say, because 2, 3, 4, 5, my grade 5, right? And then we'll say finish. You all are doing great. This will not take more than 10-15 minutes, so we should be done. So right now, the project migrate must be created. You can see so many projects, but this is my project and I have a package here, which is empty. Migrate. Now right click on it and say new Java class. Right click and say new Java class. New Java class. So when I say right click new Java class, I'll create a class called grade and press enter. In this class, I'm going to teach you a little bit object-oriented programming and a little bit methods, a little bit this is the kind of real program. You may like it. And I did not started object-oriented programming yet, but as we go further, I need to do mix match also. So this program, I'm actually going to do a little bit object-oriented programming concept also. If you guys are okay, you're going to learn them and we're going to repeat also. So grade is the object. We have 2 subjects. How many subjects we have? 2. So whenever we do object-oriented programming, please understand you have a class called, this is called class, and the class name is grade. Make sense? And now we have 2 subjects. For time being, we can say we are only talking about math and English. So those are called attribute. Math and English will be your attribute. Math and English. Make sense? Now, if you attribute math and English, I can do operations set math, get math. Set and get. That's called operation. Set and get operation. Make sense? So first of all, what is the class name? Grade. And what are the attributes? Math and English. And any attribute you have, you need to write. When you write, it's called set. And when you read, it's called get. Make sense or no? So we'll do that. And then I'll write a function called find grade. Function called find grade. Sounds good? And then we'll execute the program and we are done for the day. More detail we cover when we do object-oriented programming, but I want to make sure you understand object-oriented programming is nothing but three things: object, attribute, and operation. Speak with me. Object, attribute, and operation. Operations are two types: method and function. So if you understand method and function, you already know 30% of object-oriented programming. Make sense? So I want to show you how I use method and function so you can appreciate that. Method and function was early started. When we started programming in 1989, that's called procedural programming. Procedural programming means method and function. The people who started programming in early 90s, right? 1989 or time, maybe early 1984, maybe 5. But from that to up to 2000, everyone was working on a procedural programming. Procedural programming means method and function. But since 2002, Java programming is very popular. So everyone switched to object-oriented programming. In object-oriented programming, you have places, person or thing, objects, just like database class. But here attribute and operations. So I'm going to do step by step, something you may not understand everything. That's still fine. You still be able to do the lab, but we will be spending 2 weeks after next week. Next week is more about IO, input, output, and util. We'll do other array and other thing we'll do, but week after I'll do object-oriented programming. Because you already started projects, this will help you. In your project, object is account. So account is the object, their attribute is balance, account type, yes or no. If your object is customer, then attribute is first name, last name, email, phone number, yes or no. If your object is, let's say, bank has a name, bank has a URL, bank has a contact, right? So you can use it. I provided more details in your Google class. Please go through the projects. All you have to read and watch this recording, then it will help you. So let's get started. So first you will write attribute. So write attribute private int math and private int English. This is your attribute. You do know why we are writing private, because I don't want anybody to access from outside. So how many attributes we have? Two. Private int and private English. So math and English. Good. Now Java by default encourages that all attributes should be private, and this concept is called data hiding. So sometimes people ask in interview, data hiding. What is data hiding means? So Java say that data is a kind of capsule. If you think about capsule, medical capsule, I'm not a good painter. I'm sure you can find it, but I'll still try. Okay, so this is the capsule. In case if you have not seen medical capsule, this is the capsules, right? In that capsule, there is a medicines, right? So these medicines are hidden under cover, yes or no? So there are two names people use in Java: data hiding or encapsulation. Encapsulation. Encapsulation means these dot is nothing but attribute. An attribute must be private. And if you want to access this attribute, you only go through method or operation. And this operation can access the attribute and get you the result. Make sense? This concept is called encapsulation. Encapsulation means hide data. If somebody wants data, they go through method. We don't make attribute public in Java unless you need to. Make sense or no? So right now attribute is private, yes or no? Yes. Now we're going to write method. And there are always one attribute, two method. One is for set. Set means writing and get means reading. Set means writing, get means reading. Speak with me. Set means writing, get means reading. So the way you do is you don't write it, you follow me. Right click. Say yes. Let me repeat. Right click. Insert code. Insert code. Say yes. Click on it. And there is a concept called getter and setter. Click on this one. See here. Getter and setter. Let me repeat again. Right click. Insert code. Getter and setter. And check. Speak with me. Check. All check. Check. Very simple, and generate. And it does for you. Now check yourself. Method and function is written for you. Void is the method. Do you guys agree? And this one is the functions. So when you say get, it will return you math. When you say get English, it will return. And when you say set, you're writing. Do you guys agree or not? Because I already covered method and function, you will not cry. Yes or no? Now, whenever I say get, I'm reading. Get is for read and set means write. Are we clear? Say yes. Next question. What is this? This means this is your attribute. So whenever I use this, I'm referring to my attributes. Makes sense or no? Because you can see names are same. Both names are same. This is something you are giving me. This is the variable. But here, this means this is your attributes. If I remove this, then this confusion will start. Yes or no? So whenever you say this dot math means you're referring to your attributes. When you just use this is your variable. Can I use different name? Yes, but keeping same name is more meaningful. Let me repeat how I did that. I do Control Z. First, what I did, right click, say yes, insert code, getter and setter, getter and check, check, check. Done. So my object is ready. So far, so good. Say yes. Awesome. Now I want to create a method called what do you call to find a grade. Hello, find a grade. So how do I find a grade for these two subjects? I have two subjects. How would I find a grade? Am I asking a tough question? If you are two subjects, if students go for exam and get the grade, and I want to give him A, B, C, D grade, how would I find it? What grade he or she got? Huh?
Just add the result.
If I add result, it will be total.
Yeah.
Then
Then you have to set like values, like if this to this, then grade this.
let's teach like now how to find a grade, right? So if you are entering math and English, so you enter math and English, right? Let's say you got math 90 and English 80. So first you do total, right? Very nice. So total, so 90 plus 8 total. Then you do average. Yes or no? So divide by 2. Yes or no? And when you do average, then you have if conditions. If average less than 60, then you fail. Yes or no? Else if average is less than 70, then you did degrade. Yes or no? So that's what I'm going to do. Right now, we are going to write this method here. So please start typing. So we're going to write here. So we'll say here, we'll write a method public void find grade, G capital, like that, and curly bracket, press enter. So please understand, I say find grade. This is a method because it's a void. G capital, make sure you understand G capital. And this is the curly bracket, you press enter. And when you press enter, you are closing curly bracket. So this is what you have. Right? Easy. Life is good. Now, first I'm going to say int total equals to this dot math plus this dot English. I got total. It should not be a trouble for you, right? So I have total. This dot math, this dot English. Why am I using this? Because it refers to attributes. Yes or no? Otherwise, I will not be able to. So once I got a total, now I'm going to do average. So it's int average equals to total divided by 2. And I don't think it will create a trouble for you because you know, if I have 2 subjects, I divide by 2. If I have 3 subjects, I divide by 3. Now I'm going to write if statement. So if in parentheses average less than 60, curly bracket start, press enter, and I'll say S out grade F, means you fail. Basically, you didn't work hard. You need to work really, really hard. Make sense or no? This is the curly bracket. This is the curly bracket. This is the curly bracket. And for time being, because we are running out of time, I'm just saying if you above, you pass the grade. So you will do more in your homework. So else if in your homework you will put else if, yes or no? I'm right now putting else here because you know else if. Remember we did that. I want you to try that. It's the last week. If you remember last week I also added the program in the Google class also, but you can do it if you want to do homework like that, else average like this, you can do it, but I'm not going to do it. If I do that, you will not need to do any homework, right? So I'm going to just do else. So I'll just do else and I'll say you pass. S out grade. Here, let me do instead of F, I'll say fail. And here pass. So definitely you can see nicely, easily completed this thing. So nice in simple, easy method. We're going to do more and more complex as we go further because our foundation is getting stronger and stronger. Those who are doing homework, I'm pretty positive you will get beneficial. If you have a problem with Google Class, if you have a problem with recording, let me know, I'll help you. But make sure you watch recording. The only way you learn this thing by little practicing, right? So I'm right now doing just pass fail, but in your homework, you do write else if average less than 70, else if average less than 80, else if average less than 90. Good. Now you can see that entire thing is the class grade. So you can see here, this is the entire class is a grade, which is the object grade. And in grade, you have two attributes, math and English. And then you have set math, get math. And then you have set English, get English. And then you have find method. So this is the method. Now, after this method, create some space. After this method, create some space. Right? And here we're going to write our main method. So let's write. So public static void main and just create a structure of main method where we will call our class. So here I write the main method and this is the void. Main method is always void. Good. Those who are taking this class, right? This Wednesday we have database project presentations and database project ones, and week after Agile Scrum class. So please understand this Wednesday, if you are available, please do attend, because if you are taking this class, you are taking QA combo. So this Wednesday, either in person or virtual attend. It's a project presentation, so attending will help you. And the next Wednesday, your Agile Scrum class will start. You should take two classes parallel. This will help you to have a context, because if you are only taking one class, it can take longer. Market is already open. March already is in progress. Hiring is going full speed. So you should not delay that. So those who are taking this class, you should take Wednesday class, which is this week. We have project presentation. Next week we'll start Agile Scrum 101. Okay. Now inside main method, first what we're going to do is class instance. We're going to create an instance of grade. So how do I create instance? Grade G1, or I can say grade 1 equals to new grade. So this is created instance. So I'll say comment create instance. So I created instance. Please understand this is your class, and class always start with first letter capital. And we are in a main method right now. So we have created a one instance called grade. But that grade instance, math and English, will not have any points. So we're going to set math and set English, and we'll give a pointers. So check it out. So I'll say grade 1 dot. So we'll say grade 1 dot set English, and I'll give an English 50. Oh, sorry, no, he is very smart. So 80. And then grade 1 set math. So you're setting the score. This is your input. So you are giving these grade 2 inputs. So you are giving, hey, my math score is 80 and 40, and my English score is this. Let's say, let me give a little less point, then my program will work properly. So we are giving English 70 and we are giving math 40. So basically what we are giving is, we are saying go in this object and you set math 70 and 40 and English 70. So you're setting. So this set will set the input. So when you do set, what happen is you are actually calling this method set. So math will set 40, and when you're setting English, it will set 70. So you're setting this variable. So this got 70 and this got 40 when you do set. So when you set, you're setting the object. So you set the object 70, you set math 40. Once you set it, now you want to find the grade. So you can say now for this student, which is the grade 1 student, find grade. Now if you save it and run, you will see the answer. And that is the reason object-oriented programming is all operation driven. You see how easy the program is? You created an empty object and now you added 70 and 40 and you will get grade fail. So you can see I got a grade fail. I got a grade fail because this total is not greater than 60. This is one object, and this object I set 2 values, and now I'm doing find grade. Now I'm printing it. I can create as many objects I want. I can copy this thing and I can copy and paste it here, and I created now the grade 2. Grade 2 for student 2. Now this guy got, let's say, 90 here and 90 here. So he will get a passing grade. But here I need to do grade 2 because he is the second grade. So here you can see that I'm creating multiple instance. My class is still grade, but I'm creating a multiple instance of 1 here and this one in instance 2. And each instance I'm decorating different answers. So this is instance value I'm setting them. And then I'm asking for this grade, what is my grade point? And for this grade, what am I getting that? So basically you are getting grade, final grade for these 2 students. Each student has a different, this one is a English score, math score. So here he get fail grade and here he's going to get pass grade. So now you save it. Now you run it and you're going to get that answers. Any question, concerns, doubt? Anyone who has trouble after seeing that, if you have any problem understanding